apparently. I swear, like, Aoi just needs to get a hug after that one. I'm not exactly sure. Slacks is a madman. Gah, gah!
It's good. You put him on pressure.
Absolutely. Well, we heard a lot of things in that one. Lone Druid, Broken Hero, go next game. I think it's a good mentality to have to go into it. Try and just take some of the pressure off. Be like, we'll be able to deal with this in the next game. We'll see if it actually works out that way, though.
Yeah, it feels pretty accurate from what we saw, I gotta say. That Lone Druid was a big problem that they could not solve in that one, and so also feels a little unfair that you come into the next game and suddenly, even though you weren't playing Lone Druid, little old Ramsey's there on his Mars, his hero pool got eviscerated during this draft. Aoi mentioned it, but it was very clear that they were just really trying to target it down, trying to get him off these comfort heroes. And he winds up on the Doom, which is kind of funny, because back when he used to be a carry player, he actually used to bust out the carry Dooms and the carry Beastmasters at times. So out of the offlaners available, he's one of the two that he's certainly very comfortable on, but it's not as playmaking as these heroes that they've been using on him so far this tournament.
Right, and a lot of times this Doom has occasionally looked really bad in this tournament, and sometimes it's looked amazing. It's looked like it's the most important hero in the game. So we'll just have to see how Ramses is able to play it in this one. But of course, the other big switch up, which you talked about already, is going to be pure playing on the Alchemist. The timing that this hero hits, becoming the most farmed hero in the game, and then just ending it, that's what Tundra are going to try and do in this one.
Yeah, I think it was a good pick for a lot of reasons there, too. Like, not only just the timing it's going to hit, but this ability to give a little bit of space to the sniper in these fights. Yeah, you look at it, like, had the clock and the Eng, the support duo, and the Eng, we've seen Whitemon sort of get in and scout, but it's at some point, like, you kind of get ignored a little bit in the fights, and you're not this, like, meaty body in the middle. And the Alch and the Doom and the clock are going to be this nice little trio that can really give the space here. See if your sniper can just peep away.
Right, in that ghillie suit, keeping some distance. Sucks taking a lot of damage there. Needs to back away before the sticky napalm stacks up too much on him, but not going to be brought down in that first blood. Yeah, it's going to be a unique match, I think, in a lot of ways, too, because, like we talked about, Falcons not used to being down in the series, needing to face off here against Tundra. Of course, the last ones that brought him down below earlier in this tournament. And I think also the Clinks.
Yeah.
It's a hero that you had talked about at the beginning of the tournament as well, thinking that we might end up seeing it eventually, but as the panel said, not necessarily the greatest hero in the world, but could be good here.
It's one of these heroes when the top range carriers get targeted with the bans, right? We start to see the gyro start to come out a little bit. I mean, even Luna, believe it or not, at one point seemed to be one of those heroes. We're like, wow, Wind Ranger and Lena's banned. I guess we have to play Luna. That quickly went the way of just being a top tier hero almost immediately. But Clink's sort of next in line here, and some players like it more than others.
Ooh, a little bit more.
There you go.
And it comes out just in time. Skitter drawing that first blood.
Yeah, likes enough right now, that's for sure.
Doom.
It's an interesting hero, though. It's one that we can often see players kind of get a little bit crazy on. You might see these Clinks players off on their own a lot in the map. Surely not, right?
Ramsey's forced all the way back. I mean, he is off the lane entirely. Clinks has a super free game, but Snake King did end up using a lot of his mana pool there for that. As, again, a little bit of all chat getting thrown around. Not sure exactly what that's about in the
It's Malrine. There doesn't have to be a reason. He's just. I think sometimes he just kind of rolls his tattoo on the keyboard there.
The
Stuff
Hello
just
Kitty?
pops up. Yeah. He just places it on the keyboard and gets another one on his face. That's all.
It's a nice way to do it. As he gets the refill there of the bottle, you can see Doom still very low. Has a 13 stick charge though.
Wow. When you're really digging deep.
I mean, he's got it. He's ready for it.
Yeah. Obviously, versus the bat lane always feels good. But he's going to have a hard game. He's having a hard lane, and then you have to, we heard the panel mention, there are some problems. We already saw this earlier, right? We had the Workhorse versus the Doom that was saving some team fights before. We're going to have that Shadow Demon disrupt, so you have the single target initiation, but they're going to have single target save. Even before the Workhorse, just Stampede against Doom. It's very hard to actually lock someone down in a fight. That means you're going to need this synergy between Saksa and Ramses, which is what they've built a lot of this TI run on, is the synergy between these two. So we're going to need Hookshot, we're going to need some Cogs, and we're going to need a Doom on top to really make sure they get these kills.
Right, and of course...
And, oh, he lived the stick. It came into play.
Just out of there in time, but Ramsey's still in trouble. That tree is not going to keep you alive, so they take down the Doom, and now also going to even bully back the Clockwork. This lane feels mighty rough for that Doom. Should also note, you know, one of the other things that the panel was talking about was how dangerous this sniper ends up being. You can see already off to a really good start in the mid lane, 36-8 versus the 24-1. At the very least, if they can catch him out later on, you were talking about this, the Shadow Demon actually is kind of an interesting answer for him too.
You were talking about this.
Okay.
Why are you trying to give me credit?
I don't know.
This was your idea.
The take aim, you just dispel it, and then he doesn't get the 20 armor anymore. It's pretty cool.
That's a great idea, Lyrical. That makes a lot of sense. Sometimes he's a lot of armor, he's hard to kill, but Crit's going to look to get rid of that.
And pushing him out of the cogs there, snaking, trying to run away. They do get the Hurricane to try and keep some distance as they're diving underneath, but Thompson here to try and help out. They'll take down the Bat Rider. Now Skitter in trouble.
This is looking familiar. I saw a game like this once where the mid rotated down, even though it wasn't going that well for some of the allies down there. And Thompson obviously not having a bad time like Malrine was, but he's quickly trying to like give a little bit of assistance to that bottom lane since Ramsey's having a bad time.
Right, and while that was happening, we saw off screen some stacks starting to be built, something that they can return back to if they need to for Malrine on this Timbersaw. But in the moment, you can see Soxa again catching now onto Snake King. Whitemon is here. They did not leave. Coming back into the lane. Skinner steps forward, wants to be a bodyguard, and now starts to go for the punches. So the mid rotates down towards bottom, but not quite able to get in range. Now they do. So they take down the clock, but the other two able to escape.
Yeah, perfect moment to have the twisted chakram there to make sure you can actually find them in that tree line. Don't get bogged down by the trees.
And we're getting close to the 7-minute mark now too. So Doom already heading off to the side to go and pick up that Wisdom Rune. You can see another round of stacks being made by this Shadow Demon.
Malrine comes through, runs into the Alpha Wolves, and then goes back through the Twin Gate to the bottom lane.
Very interesting. And they're actually leaving that Wisdom Rune. Yeah, so they're now going to get that one on Soxa for the quick level 6 on clock.
Oh, it's going to work out. He actually waited long enough. They're going to catch Ramses.
If he gets caught right now, this is devastating.
It was a lot of time for Malrine to spend, but they weren't quite sure where he was, right? Like, he gets spotted up top. He's like, would he really Twin Gate back down and just, like, come right into my lane again? The answer is yes, it turns out. But I don't blame Ramses for thinking that maybe that's not what's going to happen.
So bullying Ramses in both the drafting phase and now in-game itself as well, trying to keep that Doom under control, which seems to be a pretty good answer.
He's having a hard time. There's no doubt about that. His mid laner is double his level, so you know, there is a cost to be paid here. Thompson having a great time. But if Malrine can grab these stacks, that crit is again going to be building up for him here. Obviously, shouting one of the best heroes at this. Thank you, Obs.
Makes the move in again. Not sure if that one's going to get on the Ancients, as it does look like they weren't quite able to do it, but the bigger kill is right towards mid. Thompson starts to fall. Gets the kill onto Snake King, but they do manage to bring down the little dwarf man. Yeah. Skinner making that rotation to help out, and now looking for the clock, gets the slow briefly, still looking for a chase down, here, and yeah, there's a stack and a chance for some more damage. They're moving in, Clockwork in trouble, done. Double kill for Malrine. Falcons, they are not done with them yet, and now they eat the Waybon creep, looking for more. Hitting down the Enchantress, starting to find that finish to get a mana burn, but Snake King moves in too. Malrine deciding to back away. Ramsey still moving in for more, and now the sniper's shown up. They got to get away on Snake King. He backs out, tries to get up to the high ground, and Tundra will not be able to get any kills off the Thompson rotation.
Yeah, now he's stuck down here, so Soxa happy about that, at least, as he will grab level 5 in the mid lane, working towards that 6. More stacks.
Got another one there. And now Malrine brought down low. They force out the Stampede. Snake King still brazenly running forward. But a little bit of an awkward exchange here, because again, there's nobody in the mid lane at this point for Tundra. The Shadow Demon just soaking up the XP there.
And here comes Pure through the Twin Gate as well.
They're bringing everybody. Oh, he went through though.
Yeah.
Oh, Skinner, nice move.
Yeah, good choice.
So they bring numbers, and this is all for a tier 1 tower that's definitely going to fall. But are you happy committing all these resources for this?
Sox is still hunting, of course. Wants to set up here up top. Doesn't level 6 though, so not super easy to create a turnaround play.
Still, you can see the power of this Tundra lineup when they do get all together. Falcons respecting it, not having the Stampede up and online. Deep wards placed into that dire jungle too, up on the top side of the map. This one is close to getting dewarded, but Does look like, at least for now,
All
if
right,
they make
now-
that move up, they'll be able to take it down.
1 point reactive armor here. I've seen some Timbersaws die to this versus Ench, right? That's not going to happen here, right?
Oh, is he going in too far? No, he just gets kill. Thompson walks forward and just punches Crit to death. Up top, maybe an opportunity. They find him. Amar turning, punching. The Doom is dropped, and now in trouble and going to fall, though. Maureen, they're stepping forward, wanting to do what he can. Ramses will get that kill with Thompson in tow. So the first usage of the Doom does secure a kill on the opposing offlaner.
Thompson running around here, but he's helping out, right? He's securing some final kills onto people. He's not getting super poor, and that is space for Pure. Yes. As it is definitely a very stacky game here, so he'll concoct onto himself here just for the AoE damage. You can tell all your friends you're doing on purpose now because the pro players do it. It's okay.
Absolutely. And again, an unbothered Alk at this point in the game is a really scary proposition. Only level 8, but a lot of CS, and now Whitemon starts to die. They're going to pop that Stampede. Hook shot in to try and interrupt this battle, but they've already got him. Thompson in trouble, no chance for a take game. He is going to die. And just like that, they lose 3 on Tundra for the 1.
Yeah, and at the same time, Amar was actually jumping as well on Ramses mid. Drove him back a little bit there too, whittled him down. So lots of good pressure across the map here from Falcons. 11-8 on the stacks. Crit carrying the heavy load there.
Oh yeah.
As now, Skeeter trying to get aggressive here on the early Clinks moves.
Finds him. Ramses over to the side.
Didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, wise decision, I think. There are people moving in. Does have the full Death So done now. But you've got Midas and Radiance completed at 12 minutes. I think if you're Falcons, you need to try and sort of get some pressure on, because if they're free to just farm and there's no towers being taken, they're going to accelerate so quickly.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how Ramses plays this with the Midas too. Does he try and get a blink and just kind of throw his body in and just accept that, you know, if I can start the fights off with my clockwork, it doesn't matter because my Alch and my sniper are so farmed? Or does he want to try and ensure that he's actually going to scale and catch back up to them?
Right. That's a fair point. Could be one of those sell of the Midases that we end up seeing here. Time will tell. But at least at this point, you can see Falcons willing to start to pressure a little bit more quickly. That is a Diffusal Blade sniper. I mean, we all remember the Gyrocopter Diffusal Blade. And
yep.
If you think about the heroes that are in this game, losing all that mana is going to be a real problem.
It really is. You know, Clinks is kind of one out. It's not one you think of, but there's a reason you buy Arcane Boosts, right? Like, you're spamming quite a bit. It's pretty low in terms of a mana pool for him. Timbersaw's obviously desperate for it, and Centaur is just, he's just not the brightest guy.
No.
483, that's like nothing.
They've got really good spells on Falcons, but if no mana, you can't use it.
That's how the game works.
Not enough for to do my power. Shout out to everybody that remembers that one. As a smoke up comes now, Timber and the Shadow Demon. You find somebody at this point with this SD ulti, it should be a kill.
Oh, that's the one they want, the offward spot.
That's a really good one to get right on top of Thompson, in some trouble, and already going to be found, going to drop.
Watch them while they do it. Just take him down here. Whitemon going for a solo sneak here, and yeah, he's good. This is going to go to him. They'll be getting both Wisdom Runes here on Tundra. A nice pickup after losing your mid.
Yeah, that is some nice little benefit.
Whitemon Ench, game 2.
We saw how strong he was earlier. Falcons wanting to break the curse of the 2-0s so far. See if they can force this to a game 3. Well, they popped the dust. Here the charge up, jump forward, find him. Blade Mail already out. Maybe a little bit too afraid to go on to Amar. Twisted Chakram, Whitemon starting to fall, and Maureen takes it. If you can kill an Enchantress like that, that is a problem for Tundra.
Yeah, I mean, Sox is thinking about it, right? He's here smoked up. He has the hook shot. They want to go.
And a Blink Dagger just bought for the Centaur. If they're not careful, now the problem is Skitter. Jump right onto a hook shot, hits onto the Ancients, but it's still not going to matter. More than enough. Crit, they want to come in and steal these. This is a really big get if they can get it. Tundra, though, if you stick around too long, maybe you end up dying to all of this here.
They have this ward covering them. It's really hard to get in as Falcons.
Moving in, Crit, they manage to come on forward, and he does take away a few of those Ancients, but still, Tundra, a great play as they take down that Clinks and steal the stacks.
Yeah, great use of that ward. It's probably going to get dewarded, but you gained a lot off of it, right? So, in fact, Pure maybe even thinking about trying to grab somebody nearby if they come and go for it.
Always an aggressive player. That would be a pretty bold move if he ends up going for it.
He's still just standing there.
Yeah. They're waiting because they know that somebody would come and try and take it away, but you can see Falcons respecting that type of a play too. They're not going straight for the D-ward.
Yeah, well, Amar has his Blink Dagger now on the center War Runner. Malreen's coming to join up. Force Staff as well on Crit, and they have a smoke, so probably clear this wave up. Yeah. Use the Death Pact, grab the catapult. Oh, the hook shot. They have the Force Staff save.
They want to take him down, but the disruption's already been used. Now Chakram's out. Pure jumps in, wants the stun, tries to find it, gets the kill. Now Amar in, but taking so much damage. Still Pure super low. They're going to use the lasso onto the Doom. So Pure, he actually manages to survive through it.
Oh, and the jump forward from Thompson, going in aggressively, trusting in the Amplified Damage rune.
You gotta be careful. Pure still just playing on a knife's edge right here to the side.
Oh, Amar!
And he hits it just when they need it. Amar with the stun, now looking for more. Can he manage to get out of there? They don't quite have enough damage. Ramses is low, Malreen completely out of mana. And just like that, they end the fight, salvaging what could have been a really bad go for Falcons.
Oh, this is why you always stay around a low HP, folks. Great play from Amar there to punish Thompson. I mean, to jump in aggressively like that with the concussion grenade, very much a Thompson play.
Yes.
But not paying off in the Thompson way.
13-8, and they get their man. The Clinks goes down, but we're able to get a little bit of retribution there. The big problem I'm seeing is this Alk still feels to be completely untouched in a lot of ways. 1-0-1, 177 last hits at 17 minutes.
Yeah, just a lot of freedom. I mean, it looks a lot like last game on the Lone Druid, right? I mean, how often was he just on this mirrored equivalent on the Radiant side, just hitting Ancients on Lone Druid, right? It felt like the safest place in the map. Felt like there was never some concern. Look at that scan even from Ramses, just thinking like, hey, are they around here? Like, I'm just gonna check before I move in. They really want to make sure there's always a wall between Falcons and Pure.
But we have seen also how much Malreen on this Timbersaw can really shred through that out.
Ramses.
This is a nice get. Ramses will be pushed back in. The stomp does connect. That's just going to mean that they save the lasso. Yeah. All right.
And now Skeeter hunting forward, wants to see if they can catch something else.
Pure TP's out. Wise decision. They go for the Stampede. He TP'd to mid? Snake King drops down a ward back behind. He has Blink Lasso if they want to use it. Thinking maybe they can find a kill into Pure without using it. Skitter caught for the moment. Now the disruption. Good hook shot onto both of them. Soxa plain interrupt for the moment, but he will eventually get brought down. Pure jumps forward, stunned onto Clinks. Do they have enough? Can they get him out of live? No, they're not going to be able to. Whitemon, so often the answer in that game one, does it again. And now the Doom down finds Malreen. No answers. Tundra feeling themselves, and Ramses gives them the smile.
You're allowed to. After getting targeted that hard at the start of the game and during the draft and feeling you're just having a miserable time, I'm surprised he can still smile at this point. Takes a fight like that from the team to get you back there. Falcons just going so deep right there for that engagement. You know, they drop a ward in behind, they're feeling kind of good about it, but not able to really figure a way out of that one. Just too deep and not enough damage on the targets they needed.
Right, and it sounds good in theory to, find this kill onto Alchemist, but if Thompson is allowed to just free hit, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, it was really awkward too, because Thompson's just like plinking away on Amar, so now he can't really get back in and do anything. He's just kind of stuck off the side. So the one hand you're thinking, all right, well, Thompson's busy. Maybe we can clean up the rest of this fight, right? But they still just manage to stun up on Skeeter. They can't get the saves. You force him away, dies to the impetus, and now there's no like re-goose potential, right? Once you lose the Clinks, there's no damage left in the fight, especially once there's a Doom onto the Timber.
Right, and of course that BKB timing coming out for Pure just then ends up destroying everything basically. And now you've got a pretty sizable lead. Again, it is an Alk draft, so you sort of anticipate being ahead like this a little bit. But Alk drafts often end the game early. If you're not careful, you could just lose the whole map.
And right now, there's no vision here beside of Falcons. And you're trying to move in with a bat rider draft. You don't have any forward vision, and it's you who's getting caught in the river.
Soxa again, right on point. They find both of them, try to force tap, try and get out. Not going to happen. They will come close to losing the clockwork, but ends up getting close all the way to the side. Stampede to try and get out. Skidder just hoping to escape. Will he be able to? Yes. Now to the side. Ramses must run, and Skidder gets stunned. The assassinate out. He's done. Tundra, time and again, have found this Clinks and have punished the pick hard.
They're trying to get out of these fights with these force staffs, and you just see the impetus chase down, just chunk, you know? It just doesn't matter. It feels like any chance to try and break away and get a secondary fight going for yourselves from Falcon is just failing because these saves aren't working right now. Whitemon's just consistently getting the good targeting, and then again, Pure, right? Another concoction onto the Clinks. He has a single target in mind, he's hitting it every time, and that's a problem with the Clinks, because like, what can he do? He can't just like go BKB right now, or at least he doesn't feel like he can.
Right.
Doesn't think like that's going to be enough for the hero. He needs a little bit better spacing. He just wants to be able to like trying to consistently hit, not have to rely on the BKB, but I don't know, the saves just aren't working.
Right, well, and you're getting the other saves going the other way. The hookup with Clockwork is actually, you know, having some extra value in these fights, keeping people alive where otherwise they might not end up being alive. And now a 5K gold lead. Skidder again gonna hunt. Can they find the right target? Sox is playing out of his mind. This guy is having a heck of a performance here at TI.
He's done it before. A couple of times, you know, played pretty darn well at this tournament.
You're not wrong.
You're gonna take that lead, they're gonna back away, and again the pressure is once more here on Falcons. They feel like they have to do something. They don't want to just sit back and farm because they've already seen what Pierre's been doing on this Alchemist, so it feels like you're just like falling further and further behind. You imagine that Tundra are also just thinking about Roche soon. Like, they have a great lineup for it. They got this Alchemist, they got the Sniper, you have this Clockwork to help cover you.
But at the same time, in the back of your mind, you got to imagine, as Falcons, if you lose one more fight in a bad way, the game could potentially just be out of your hands. It has to, like, you want to make that move, but it has to be the perfect move. And Tundra, like you said, going into the Roche pit.
And they're just following the flowchart here. And no way you're going to fight this one.
No, need to just try and get into that next set of items. Crit is going to start to maneuver down this direction. They already have one deep ward in between the tier 1 and tier 2 on the bottom half of the map, as Roche is finishing up here.
That is now 20 armor, by the way, if you get hit by the hook shot as an ally.
Yeah.
Just kind of ridiculous for 4 seconds.
Well, and it completely answers Clinks, right? I mean, this hero is just all physical damage. Good facet choices and solid play so far has put Tundra in the lead. If they can close this game out, if they can take this Aegis and keep that pressure on, get to play at this last day at TI, keeping their hopes and dreams alive. And on the other side for Falcons, they need to force this game 3 if they want to be able to close out. Coming into this tournament as one of the favorites, and Snake King gets found for a moment, will back away. Amar also blinking out, but ooh, just barely able to get some separation there. Snake King from the Clockwork.
It would appear Soxa is human.
Yes.
It takes a while to figure it out. Does manage to miss a hook shot. And Crit just trying to poison the wave from away. Escape afterwards. No hook shot here on the chase. Soxa just being intimidating with nothing but a jetpack.
You're going for the Lincoln Sphere. So opting for like the very defensive build here on this Alchemist, Amar.
I think he can just afford it because he just needs the control.
Yeah.
Like, this Clinks is just, you know, you get on top, he gets stunned, you've got enough allies to help get that damage. So to ensure that you just don't get lassoed, if he were to get lassoed and die before Chemical Rage, then I could see a good fight actually happening for Falcons. And he just wants to ensure that doesn't happen.
Right.
And he's saying that, like, I'm in no rush to end this game. I just want to make sure that they're not going to be able to, like, even things back up.
The one that's left behind while the rest of the team goes forward, and they find this Timbersaw was not anticipating that he would be alone down bottom.
And getting this Doom kill, like, on the one hand, you can think for Falcons, okay, Doom is down, like, now our Timber can have a good fight, because they're going to have a hard time controlling him without that, but then you're fighting into the Aegis.
Yeah.
So it's just a good way to try and get a punish here and still keep rolling all over this map right here from Tundra.
Pure eyeing up the AC next, as he will grab that whole creep wave, start heading together, and has turned into split push central for the side of Falcons.
Yeah, trying to get gold everywhere on the map right now. You can see you got Crit and Skeeter way up top. You got Snaking inside the Radiant jungle. Amar's farming Radiant Ancients. Can they get out of here?
Oh! Skinner found push 2 times outside of the base. It's going to end up costing him his life, but can Skinner get out afterwards? I don't think so. They TP back multiple and get the Clinks.
Oh, happy trade there for Soxa. Draws them back, so maybe they're not taking your objectives, I guess, at the very least for Falcons, but obviously they're still very happy about that on Tundra, because it is a lot of hope just pegged on this Clinks.
Right. So many issues at this point that they need to contend with. And, you know, we talked about it. Is Ramsey's going to keep scaling? The answer is definitely yes. He's almost passing up the Clinks now in terms of net worth. Might need to look for help from some of these other heroes in this game. Of course, the Batrider, great at being able to isolate that single target, but obviously don't want to do that against a sniper with Aegis at this point.
Does have the Eye of the Vizier as well, which is pretty helpful.
Oh yeah. A little bit of a longer range initiation. Mar trying to get towards the Crimson Guard himself.
A flare from Soxa.
That sees everything.
Spots them farming inside the Dire Ancients. Amar running towards their base, hoping he's going to keep him alive. Finds a courier.
Yeah. And then the TP back.
That's Pure. Hits the mid tower. Ramses hits the top tower.
I mean, it just goes to show how confident they are in their play right now. And Soxa is waiting right off to the side. I mean, this is a free kill if they want it, if they want to bring numbers back. But at least for now, it doesn't look like that's what they're interested in. Going over. Pure suns himself underneath the tower. Wait a minute, this could be an opportunity for them. Already dead on one. Malrine needs to back away from the sniper. And trying to hunt, trying to find. Crit gets him! They drop down the ulti immediately onto this sniper, dropping lower and lower and dead. Can they do it a second time now? Clockwork has shown back up. They got to back out on Crit. Crit is in trouble. Stampede run forward. The blade mail is out. Hobson hitting himself, doing a lot of deeps. They run in with Malrine, trying to do what damage they can, but there it is. Already onto him through the BKB. They will find and kill Malrine.
Tundra taking control there of the outpost, allowed to get back on Ramses, drop the Doom once more, and keep the push alive. Next tier 2 to fall here, and we're approaching 28 minutes, and they are near the Wisdom Rune if they would like. They're also on your high ground because there's still 30 seconds without a Timbersaw.
This is dangerous. Tundra keep the party moving, and buyback status not available for that Timbersaw because of gold. Tundra, I don't know if they're going to be stopped off of there, but they jump in immediately. No Doom available, but still get the counterplay.
I mean, they just have nothing right now.
For Steph. Gets away.
That shot nearly hitting from Soxa.
That would have been a death for sure. But Tundra, they will be stopped in their tracks, it looks like.
Yeah, they're going to get back for the Wisdom Rune though. Snaking not able to get over there and steal it. So that's going to be double again here for Tundra at 28 minutes. Further widening the gap. Now, you know, there's no Aegis. There's no Doom for over a minute right now. If you are Falcons, you've got to be thinking about getting out here. But, you know, they look out. They got one good ward up here, but it's expiring soon, and they're on the move.
They got to make a play.
Stampede in 12.
It's the only option. They run towards it, and actually Pure is getting over that direction too.
He's going to show as well to take the tower, maybe kind of bait them in here.
Could be an opportunity.
There goes that ward though. They've lost their forward vision. Snaking's got one obs.
Who can they find? I don't know if they're going to be able to get it. I mean, it looks like Tundra is prepared for this.
They're circling completely.
Yeah, they're so ready. They know exactly what's going on.
All right, Soxa, go get him, buddy. He's holding the gem. Oh, which means he might find Skeeter.
And a full AC done now for the Alchemist.
As if they're running enough problems already with the hookup. And more armor. More attack speed.
Snaking still smoked, about to wear out though. Does have 2 more in his inventory. Do they want to play around this vision here? Drop it down and then look for a fight? It doesn't look like it. I mean, you've got to be super careful with your wards and make sure you're getting something out of the map. The other thing is that they know that Roche is going to respawn on daytime side, so they're trying to get stuff set up over here too. Jump in, find him, Doom. Caught, down to half HP, dead.
That's the Clinks. That is what you want. You look to farm up to get to this point where if you can isolate a single target, they just get blown up immediately.
and he's dead for 70. That was a dieback. They know that too.
Yep, had his little vengeful play there onto Malrine, but find him afterwards.
I mean, I feel like as Falcons, you got to do something here. There needs to be a play made while Doom is dead, whether that's just trying to secure vision around the map or whatever else, but you're not going to get a better opportunity with Doom dead for another 50 seconds.
Yeah, it feels like just farming would feel great, right? Because they know they're not going to group up on the side of Tundra and go for anything right now. Feels like Doom is pretty pivotal for how they want to play these engagements, because one less body in the front means the fight is just harder and harder for Topson. So it just feels like an unnecessary risk to try and push something here. And if you can just farm as many camps as possible right now to get these next items, that's a win in itself. I mean, you just got the Shiva's guard finish of Malrine. That's very helpful, not just for obviously the benefits of the item, but in terms of like damage, it slows us up with the vision, right? Trying to find these annoying heroes. And they're going to end up getting some pressure on this tier 2 mid.
Roche time is a little bit less than a minute, as Falcons going to take down this tier 2 tower.
They could, in theory, start a fight here.
Pure jumps in, stun, Amar, force staff away. Pure feels very strong with that Linken's in tow, and they're not going to get a free tower, but a Linken Sphere for the Clinks now also.
Okay, and it's 30 seconds until Roche. Radiant side. See how they want to try and move towards this one. I imagine they're going to stay pretty tight here on the side of Falcons. The saves have been improved. There's now a Blink Dagger on crit since the last engagement, so we can really get in there for the grab and save. That in combination with just like Stampede, and then of course just helping out with Snake King with the Blink and the Force Staff there. Like you might see crit like Blink and Force Staff that again or something to create an even further isolation onto the target they're going for. But it is Tundra who have the flare available here, so they can move down towards the Roche pit, keep sending out these flares, and spawning these heroes. He saw where crit was moving inside the Radiant Ancients. They know that they're playing far away from Roche right now. And that's going to send them into the pit. They're going to begin it very slowly here with Pure on Soxa.
It's going to drop pretty quick, though, if they can get there. I mean, Skitter, they're heading
the
that direction. Now they know. And it looks like they'll take the tier 2, and then are they going to
they're making their way here, Lyrical.
This is, it's not going to be in time, but they can maybe take the fight right after the...
Do they want to take the fight after?
I don't know. I mean,
Doom's available.
This direction. Now seeing what could happen. Snake King walking forward. They're flaring right on top of him. Still holding the ground is Tundra. And Falcons...
I think that's a wise decision.
Yeah, they're not going to go for it.
Doesn't feel like going into this one is going to do you many favors.
What a tense game. I mean, again, this is playing for everything here. Playing the last day of TI, looking for top 3 at the very least. And you can see it's not a clear victory here for Tundra. You gotta also imagine at this point in time in the game, if you're Tundra, you feel like you've got a win under your belt. If you lose this one, how do you recover for a game 3 if it ends up happening?
They got him.
But they get him again, long range, shot him right on top of him, forced down to the low ground. Does he have a way to get out? TP trying to escape, but no! The jetpack and the battery assault is there. The magic little man in a metal suit does it again.
Just no hope for them on this one. Whitemon even chasing a little bit further here, trying to find somebody. He's going to see Snake King going for the midway. Snake King's holding a gem right now.
If you lose this one.
But he blinks away. They can't get him.
Out. Amplified damage. The slow is there. You can see pretty good accuracy, but it's in these clutch moments he's been showing up. It's funny too, because he is... Clockwork is probably the smallest hero in this game, and Sox is not the smallest person. He is a big guy.
I don't think he would fit in the suit.
Not quite. Gotta have it specially made. 19-18, 8,000 gold lead.
Oh, we got the rally troops down here.
They're ready to move.
Oh yeah, raise those dead. Pure, again, ready to jump. How ambitious is he feeling?
Just willing to stun himself. But a smoke up. They want to defend this if they can. You obviously have to wait for Clinks.
It's a flare that does connect on the Snake King, so no jump.
To be ready for this one, and you can see they're still respecting this. As Clinks respawns, they back away on Tundra.
And closing in on a couple big pickups here. Almost a level 20 there, onto the sniper. Get some of our larger talents coming. I mean, Pure's up to level 22 right now, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Beast in this game. Another Linken Sphere pickup here. Rams is going to grab one on the Doom, making life even harder for Snake King.
And Snake King has been the one that's been finding these clutch moments here. Does have a 4 staff, so you can play your way through it if you need to. They're also queuing up more Lincoln Spheres on more heroes.
Yep. I mean, that is the goal, I think.
Yeah. If you can mitigate the Doom, maybe there's an opportunity there. But in towards the Tormentor they will go. Wisdom Runes picked up for Skitter as well as Thompson. Getting that level 20 now. 30% shrapnel damage.
Just lay that up top on the ground while you're going in.
God, and Alk is just so huge. 10K above the next highest on the enemy team. And not looking back at all. I mean, there is a point in time in this game when eventually you start to fall off on an Alk a little bit when you get, you know, fully slotted. But, like, I mean, I'm really grasping at straws there to, like, think about how things could go poorly here.
My inventory's full. My hero's so bad.
You can buy people's Ags, too, and start getting that for himself if he needs to.
Yeah, there's a little bit more room to grow here. But for Falcons, it's looking towards this Clinks.
Yes.
Right? Like, Skeeter, he knows the goal. He's going for the Daedalus next. He knows he's that big damage if they can get the control. But, man, it is so hard to lock them down.
Strafe attack speed talent at that 20. And as of yet, still no racks have been taken.
Yeah, that is a big reason why this game is still pretty close as well, because there's no big like economy damage to Falcons, because all the creeps are still worth a good amount of gold for them. And that makes life pretty good.
And while they're sort of stuck in their base, you're still getting some farm out there on the map. Amar trying to
They
do
have a
what
pretty
he
sneaky
can.
ward out here. It's actually looking right at Whitemon right now.
Do they dare? They drop down.
I mean, Skeeter's right there.
The banner. They bring Amar back.
He's fire flying. He's committing.
Thinking about it. Jump forward. Lasso got him. And the Stampede under control. But look at it. The jump forward stun. And Thompson didn't have the answer. Clockwork. Hook shot in. Finds the perfect targets. Dude, what a counter initiation that was.
He's just too good. He's ready for it there. Now Pure's high ground hitting your buildings.
Oh, and it could all come crumbling down so quickly.
15 seconds on the Aegis, though.
And they do it. Can they whittle him down and then try and get that perfect timing on Thompson? He's still not at full HP, but no, Tundra, they take what they got for. Came for and gonna backing out.
Amar, does he feel the desperation?
It's tough, man. It's a tough one. Tough call. Do they decide to go in for more?
I mean, Sox is just waiting up front here. He's low on mana, but he still wants the grab.
They don't have the Batrider. They need to try and stop this pressure. Even without the Aegis, it's still such a hard hold. Sniper can just hit you from outside of the base, and Pure charges it up, immediately starts to go to town, and there it is. Already caught with the Doom. Does have the disruption. 4 staff to try and keep him alive. Malrine, we'll see if he's able to live through this one. But Amar out with the stop. Now Snaking looking for the chase down. Pulls him back in, but immediately interrupted again. Saxa right on point. Skinner nowhere left to go. He too is going to die. Falcons, they do not have enough left in the tank. They are too strong on Tundra.
Soxa and Pure are in sync right now. The control coming in there with the hook shot as well to catch the Clinks with the gem. They're giving them no chance to fight back on Falcons.
What an unbelievable performance that we've seen on this Clockwork. How many stand-ins can you come in and perform like this on the biggest stage? Soxa has had a fabulous game. Malrine, the young gun, hoping to get something done here, trying to stop it. Ramses, he won't stop all chatting. Malrine is brought lower and lower. He wants that kill into Ramses, does get it. Buyback now comes from the Timber. How much more do you have left in the tank? It's 5 seconds until the bat's back up, and they still need a little while before they get the rest of their heroes.
It's 2 heroes. It's a Conda Sniper. It's a scary sight.
Malrine jumps in. Crit. He's targeted.
Oh,
the hometown hero. He's caught. Crit. Disruption. Living for the moment. Snaking's dead again. They don't have an answer.
Ho-ho!
Guys, says Ramses. It's over. With no regard for human life.
The heel turn.
Ramses is just all over him as they get the mega creeps. They are going to take the tier 4 towers. Skinner not willing to give it up, not willing to say no, never say die. They're going in for Thompson, trying to kill him, but no. Skinner backs away, barely able to survive. Dodging, trying to survive through it, but in the end, it's Whitemon. One last hit from the edge takes him down.
Oh, a buyback from Tops, and they want to cement this game. Ramses has done it with the alt chat. They know they gotta go now. There's a fire lit under Falcons.
They're ready to take this one out. Maureen goes in for another salvo, but he's all alone, although the supports are coming back alive again. Falcons back out. Thompson, he's ready to come back in. Ancient exposed. Falcons hoping, dreaming, just want to keep this TI alive. But I'm not sure if they've got enough left in the tank. Pure moves forward, blinks back for a moment. Maureen still lives through it. Now Amar caught in the cogs. Whitemon, eyes on the prize, taking down the Ancient.